Hey guys, it's Josh from WA Production, and today I'm going to do a quick video on my 5 favorite features of Visual Synthesizer from Imaginando. They have such a cool plugin here, and as it sounds, it is a synthesizer and it works kind of similarly to a normal synthesizer, except you are synthesizing visuals essentially, rather than music and audio, but you're using your audio and MIDI to trigger these visuals so that it goes along with your music. And so it's a really powerful plugin. There are other tutorials on how to set it up and all the features, but today I'm just going to do a quick one showing you 5 of my favorite interesting features that it has. I'm really loving this plugin, and it's now available on our store, so you can go get it there. All right, so first, before I get started, I just want to play you what I've put together here. It's just a quick little demo of some of the features so that you can see what it does and how it sounds. All right, so you get the idea. Pretty cool, something I put together pretty quickly just to kind of show some of the main features. So the first favorite feature of VS, and these are not going to be in any particular order, but it's the first one I thought of, is that you can create different layers of visualizers, each being triggered by MIDI or audio. And what's really cool is the fact that you can use MIDI or audio. So in a lot of cases, MIDI makes sense. So let's start with this one, for example, this blue vortex guy. So I just have it triggered by that wah sound, and it's actually triggered by the MIDI. So it just, when the MIDI comes in for that, the visualizer goes, and when it's off, it's off. So it's pretty simple. That one's easy. This one is a little bit more more complex, more rhythmic. I'll solo it. So obviously that's being triggered by that main acid lead type thing. And I've got that going by the MIDI as well. So it's just kind of playing the rhythm of the MIDI. This one, however, I set up with audio for a reason. So what it's doing is, not this red guy, I don't know, it shouldn't be on right now, but actually I guess it should be. But anyway, if you jump down here, it is this pattern right here. And as you can see, it's a pretty simple pattern. And if I were to trigger that by MIDI, it would kind of just be one big long note with like a couple little short spaces in between. So it wouldn't really do too much. That's controlling a sound that has a lot of decay, so it kind of ramps down quickly. And so I felt that it would be better to trigger it by audio. So let's just show you how that looks. I'll solo this one. So you can see here, it's actually the audio is coming in and it's triggering the audio anytime it's above this threshold. It's playing, so it kind of chops out sooner than it would if I was using the MIDI, because I'm only having it trigger when it's at its loudest point. So that's an example of one really cool feature here. My second favorite feature that I'm going to talk about is the fact that you can control different parameters by mapping them to your MIDI controller and or automating them in your DAW. And so I've gone ahead and I'm going to unsolo this stuff. So I've gone ahead and mapped some of the parameters for this second layer here, and I'll just show you how it goes. So you get the idea. There's a lot of different parameters you can control. You can add multiple parameters to a single macro knob. All sorts of stuff you can do and have fun with it for some, more live control. Or automate it using automation in your DAW. So that's an awesome feature. Next is, I just love all the unique parameters that you can affect. You can affect the waveform and phase and such of the visualization. All these different more obvious parameters that actually change depending on the material that you're using. Some make sense, well, for certain ones, and some don't. Obviously, you can change all the colors and all that stuff, the way that the layers blend together, which will be familiar for anybody who's used, graphic design tools like Photoshop or something like that. And then, all sorts of different things. So you can jump into this matrix, which I used for some of these layers to kind of adjust what's controlling what. This will be familiar for those of you who are into sound design. Serum will have a similar matrix, that kind of thing. And basically, you can use LFOs, you can use envelopes and, keyboard tracking to adjust the hue, saturation, brightness, and alpha. And so the key tracking, for example, is like depending on where it is, higher or lower on the keyboard, the MIDI, it'll affect how these different parameters behave. The velocity of how the notes are being hit can control the brightness, for example. So soft notes are low, dull, and harder hit notes are bright. All sorts of stuff you can do, and different levels, and have them control multiple parameters. So it's really awesome that you can do that. Next is that you have this awesome library of really great and beautiful materials that they've included. I feel like you can create some really cool different combinations of materials, and what's better is that they're all customizable. So not only can you combine these, I think there's 50 in here, these 50 different materials, you can customize them the way you want, move them around, kind of mangle them, twist them, do all sorts of stuff with them, change the colors, obviously, and go from there. And then if you're really nerdy and want to nerd out, you can kind of create your own materials as well. So there's that feature as well. You can adjust things and all of that. So really awesome feature here. And then finally, I just wanted to talk about the fact that they have great presets to start from. So really cool. Look at all these, and they're really interesting and all very different. So you can start from, a place of using presets. So whether they work kind of depends on, which channels I've got set up. Like if it looks like it has all these channels, so it probably will look good. Pretty awesome. So, if I wanted to make them each work, I could make sure that the right MIDI channel is going to different layers. It's probably not moving as much because I've selected different MIDI channels for the layers to go to. But these are really cool places to start and just get some ideas. I mean, look how awesome and unique these are. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I did nothing. You saw I just loaded this preset and it's already creating this really cool polygon that is moving around and changing shapes and rotating along with the music. So, I can't imagine how much cooler I could make it look if I actually, started mapping different things specifically for this project. There's kind of limitless options here. So, hope you enjoyed that. Got a good idea for how awesome Visual Synthesizer is. There's so many possibilities here, and especially for producers who are on a limited budget, you don't have a graphic design team behind you or the budget to hire one. I know that I wish something like this existed when I was first starting out, because I totally would have used it to create visualizers for my music, backgrounds for when I'm DJing or live streaming or whatever it is. There's so much cool stuff you can use this for, and I hope you're as excited about it as I am. So go out and enjoy, and I hope this has been helpful. Have a good one.